mediumship, when you can think about mediumship and what it is, it's like there's so much questions you can ask about it. There's so many things that that people would like to ask about mediumship. When you think about it, it's like what mediums do, connecting to the spirit world and bringing through a beautiful spirit communicator, and being able to bring enough evidence through that people can understand it as being a truth. And it's proving that life continues, and that we are really doing a very wonderful part of healing that is needed within this lifetime. And it's wonderful that we can do that, and that it's possible. I myself have had many readings from different mediums and many from demonstration. And hello to everyone that's coming in. But it's fantastic that it's possible. This is a question and answer about mediumship, which I do on these Thursdays at 5 o'clock every Thursday. I do this at 5 p.m. my time. So whatever time it is with you now, just know that I'll be on next week. If you have any more questions, please just put them in the chat and let me know. Yeah, it's wonderful. I've got a question about sitting in the power from someone. They wrote, can sitting in the power help you heal if you're sick? Now, for those that don't know what sitting in the power is, it's basically you're sitting in the power is opening up your energy, making yourself lighter, brighter, raising your frequency, connecting to the spirit energy and letting it come in. And when you do that, you're actually activating the frequency of energy that's coming in. And that's a great thing to do. And what it does is it activates also your body and cells on a certain level. So if you are sick and you sit in the power, and I've done this for myself as well, it can help raise your frequency energetically, which actually helps with getting better. So this is something that's very important to remember. Is like, people say, oh, should I sit in the power if I'm sick? Yes, I do it. I mean, I did it, all the time that I was ill, and it really helps to activate your energy. It helps on a cell level, activating your energy, and it really can help with the healing of your own body. So can sitting in the power help you heal if you're sick? The answer is yes. If anyone's got any more questions, put it in there. I know some people that are ill, and they use this sitting in the power a lot just to keep going. So it's good to know that. Does healing energy feel different than other energy that comes through? So this is something to think about. Like, does healing energy feel different than other energy that comes through? Yes, it does. Because healing energy is a high frequency of energy that comes through a medium, basically, normally through the crown chakra, or sometimes coming from behind and going through the body and coming out of the hands and going towards the person that is sending the healing to. And it's a high frequency energy that's actually been there to activate and help with healing. It can feel very light and very tingly. Now, other energy, like if you're connecting to the spirit world, can feel very light, but sometimes it depends on your communicator that you're speaking with. So the spirit person, if it's a man, they can feel very strong. So the energy can feel a little bit stronger. But if you've got a lady that's quite light, that can feel different. And I feel that connecting with the spirit world, it feels different to me in the way that it's like, it's more electric. And I feel that for me, especially that healing energy, it's more lighter, it's got a higher frequency, and it goes through the medium to the person that it's needing to receive it. So does healing energy feel different than other energy when it comes through? To me, it does, right? 1111, yeah. So when we talk about these numbers, 1111, they're power numbers. and some people believe them in angel numbers. But the thing is, when you think about it, it's like there can be signs that you're in the right place at the right time, or on the right path at the right time. And some people ask me about these numbers, and they say to me, hey, do you know if these numbers mean anything? And I say a lot of the time, I say, well, if you're noticing them, then your spirit guides, or the people that you believe in, they know that you're in the right place at the right time, and they know that you're gonna notice these numbers, and they're gonna wake you up. So welcome to people that are coming in and joining us. But these numbers, they can be like, hey, I just recognize it, that I was just thinking about something then, and then my attention got brought to that number. So yeah, there's certain signs that you can have going on around you that really, you know, make you feel like I'm in the right place, I'm at the right time, I'm making the right decisions. That must be the right thoughts that I'm having, and that's a good thing. I've got another question about, so if you've got any other questions about mediumship, just put them in here. I've got a question about falling asleep in the power, and the person that was having that happen to them, they said they thought it was going to be energizing, but they fell asleep, and so they asked me, am I doing this right? And the answer is, whenever you have the intention to sit in the power, you're always doing it right, because intention follows energy. Energy follows intention. So if you intend to sit in the power, to energize yourself, to raise your frequency in some way, you are energizing yourself for the spirit world, for yourself, and for your own development. If you happen to fall asleep at that time, it must be an added bonus to you, for the lady that asked me this question, but only because you probably needed the sleep. It's not that sitting in the power makes you tired. That's not true. Sitting in the power energizes you. And I'm not saying you're doing anything wrong, but if you're in a point that your body is tired and you need to recuperate yourself, and you sit in the power, your mind will, sitting in the power relaxes the mind. And what happens when the mind relaxes? We can go to sleep. So I would say to the lady that asked me this, look, you're doing it correctly. The intention to sit in the power is there. It's going fine. If you do fall asleep, you know, that's okay. It just means that your mind's reacting. Now, Harry Edwards explained this, and Harry Edwards is a healer years ago, and he wrote a beautiful book about psychic mediumship and mediumship. It's only a small book, and basically about the attunement of the mind, right? And sitting in the power was to do that attunement of the mind. So what is your mind and what is the spirit mind? So the relaxing of your mind, sitting in the power, the more that you do it and the more that your mind relaxes, the more that your mind is open to impressions and information and feelings from the spirit world. So if you do this, and this is what Harry Edwards wrote about, which was the sitting for development, it can actually attune your mind, where your mind it finds it easier to receive messages. Because if you imagine, if you didn't sit and you didn't find that quietness of mind, and your mind was busy, it would be difficult to filter out what is from the spirit world and what is your own mind. But Harry Edwards wrote about that, and I think it was very beautifully written, the way he wrote it, and it just explained that quite simply, that the more that you sit for attunement, the more that you sit in that way, the more that your mind will get attuned to something that they call the spirit mind. And when information comes through, you can trust that information more, because you have what they call a clear mind. Now, to the lady that asked the question before about falling asleep, if your mind got clear enough and relaxed enough at that moment in time, yes, it may be happened that you needed that moment to have a sleep. But know this, when you intend to sit to energize yourself in the power, it's okay. You're doing it right, because intention follows energy, energy follows intention. I see that someone's written here, I had a healing guide come in, and can my other guides step back when I need to heal? Noticing my other guides are quieter. Are they teaching me a new modality? Well, I guess they are. I think that's a good thing to notice. I mean, if you are sensitive and you're sensitive to your guides, You know, when you go to do healing and a healing guide steps forward, then you can say, okay, there's something happening here, and then you know that that's thing. Other guides would step backwards, because think about it, you don't need all your guides to do everything. There are certain guides that you would have that would be for the healing aspect. There are certain guides that would help you with your mediumship aspects, and to know that is to know your sensitivity. And the more you get sensitive to what guides are working with you, or how they work with you, you'll know. And I find whenever there's a change of guides, that's when mediumship changes. So, I mean, it could be that you say you're aware of a different feeling or a different energy or a new guide coming in. Yes, it could be attuning you to a different modality, but it could be attuning you to something different within your own progression in your spirituality, but also within your mediumship. So I hope that answers your question. And you know, sometimes it could feel like the other ones are getting quieter, but healing really needs the quietness. That's how it works best for me. So to be in the quietness and to let go of mind and to let the energy flow is the best way to do that. Another question I've got here: can you tell me, is it usual to feel like your feet are stuck on the earth, rooted, and that your body pulsates? And this is also to do with sitting in the power. So it must be a sitting in the power day today. If anyone's got any more questions, please write them in here. Yeah, can you tell me if this is usual? Really, it's for everyone different. When you sit in the power, and this lady asked this, when you sit in the power, it's different with everyone. It can have a different effect. I mean, some people experience like heat coming out. Some people experience the cold. Some people experience like a tingling feeling around their body. It's by everyone different. But if you find that you suddenly feel rooted and that your feet are put right on the ground and you feel stuck for a while, it's because that grounding was needed. And mostly that would happen to someone that was normally a lot in their head, a lot of energy in their head, a lot of energy moving around in their mind, and they would need to be rooted and they would need to be grounded. As for the pulsating feeling and the energy, that pulsating feeling, that's also needed for this person at the time, because it's the energy shifting. Now, when sitting in the power, what do? Energy shifts, healing takes place, progression takes place, all these sort of things take place when you're sitting in the power, but you need to just become aware of the sensations that's going on. So it doesn't sound like it's anything abnormal. It sounds to me that it's becoming more rooted, grounded, and it's just what's needed for you right now. So if anyone's got any more questions, please write them up here. I see that someone's written there, notice hearing is becoming like sonic, like a fish. And when you think about that, yeah, when you notice the changing in your mediumship, yeah, hearing can open up, things can change, and yeah, you know, that's something to notice about. Can your mediumship guides change as you develop? Yes, they can. Usually the main thing I know, lovely to the people that have just arrived, but what I really know is that, you know, guides do change. You got to look at it this way. I mean, that's a different thing. I would have to do some sort of a webinar on this, or something like, for you guys to explain exactly how it works. But you have one head guide that is with you for your whole spiritual progression in your life, and they stay with you your whole lifetime. But let's say suddenly you decide to do healing, that guide wouldn't be your healing guide. So you would have another guide step in that would help you with those healing abilities. And let's say suddenly you said, oh, I want to do mediumship now. Well, your healing guide can't help you with there, so you normally have another guide to step in with that. As you progress with your healing or with your mediumship, those guides can help you to the best of their ability. And when you suddenly need more help in a certain area, a guide can step in or change to help you progress even more within your progression, within your mediumship. And that's how it works. So really in short, but really I would have to do some sort of a guides thing to explain it fully. But I hope that answers your question. That makes sense. Okay. Just look at it like this. I mean, if you were going to go to go to a bank and you're going to ask the clerk there, can you please help me with my money? And they say, then suddenly they say, I can help you so far, but when you need more help, you'll need to speak to my manager. Well, that's a bit what I mean, you know, working with the guides. It can progress in that way. So welcome to the people that are arriving. Yes, I've got another question. So if you've got any more questions about mediumship, spirituality, whatever, just put it in here. If you are going through healing, can your mediumship step away while you are going through this? Now, this question can be taken two ways. If you are going through healing yourself, what I've noticed, and this is for all the people, if they're going through any healing within their lives, it can be that suddenly you're feeling that your mediumship ends up getting less. And it can be that you feel that you're not as busy as you used to be. That's normal, right? Because look at it this way, the spirit world do not want to slog you to death and make you work while you're ill. They certainly don't want to make you work so hard that you get sicker and sicker. So what happens is, yes, it will ebb away so that your energy can go to your body to help with your own healing. And that's the most important thing to remember, because once the energy goes to your body to help with your healing, and that can be done first, then it can start coming back. So if you are going through healing, can your mediumship step away while you are going through this? Yes, it can. And you've got to think that it gives you time to replenish yourself, get used to, the changes that's going on with you, especially. And that's to know that that's what it is. So just know that these changes can be good. So I hope that answers your question. I see that it has. If anyone's got any more questions, let me know. I am going to be doing a live again, so don't forget to catch me tomorrow, same time, but this time on YouTube. So let me know. I would say, you know, if you were going to practice mediumship while you were ill, I'd be very gentle with yourself. And I think that's the main thing, because when you're working with energy and you're working with your own energy, become aware of, do you really want to push yourself outside too much, right, with your mediumship, you know, because when you need to spend time to heal, I'd spend time to heal. Once you're healed and you're ready to go, yeah, no problem, you know. But the thing is, when you're working as a medium, it can use a lot of energy. So you need to become aware of your own energy, what your own energy is telling you, and what you can do. And you are the only person that can actually keep your fingers on your pulse and actually know, okay, how do I feel? Where am I? What am I doing? How does the energy feel? And I'd say it's not always good to push through, because eventually, if you're feeling ill, you're going to get ill anyway. And it's better to conserve your energy and make sure that you're healed before you continue. And that's just my practice. That's what I do. And once you're firing all cylinders, you're ready to work. And then you can go out and do the good work. Because I feel that, you know, in this work, we really need to bring quality to it. And the quality is the best that you can do. And that's all that anyone can ask of you. And it's all the spirit world can ask of you, is to be the best that you can be. And so when you take care of yourself, you've got to take care of yourself and cherish yourself as being that sentient being that needs to, you know, just to be who you are and to take care. And once you take care of yourself, that energy in taking care of yourself will help you do a good job. So obviously, not pushing through in times like that. Obviously, when I've got a lot of work on and I've made commitments, I always keep my commitments. I always do. And I trust spirit that it's okay. But when I need time to replenish, it's good to take time to replenish. And there was someone that asked me a question about words and how words can help you with your mediumship. And there is a certain thing of the power of words and how you voice your words. So when you're a medium, like if you're going to say, like, you know, you're going to make a contact and you're going to bring through some information. If you're bringing through information, you'd be like, well, you know, I feel I might have a motherly feeling here, and it may be a mum or a grandmother, and I'm not quite sure. She might have done this in the kitchen with you or with someone else. It feels like, you know, that she would have been, yeah, together with you, and I'm feeling a lot of love around it. If you listen to my words, it doesn't sound very confident. But if you say, hey, I've got a mum here, as she's coming in for me, she's making me aware that she would have been with you in the kitchen. You would have actually baked together. She's shown me baking, and what she's shown me that she made, she would have made pies with you together. And what I know of her, she was a lady you could reckon with. She had a strong character, and she knew how to move forward. If you notice how the words are stronger and more confident, it makes a big difference within your mediumship. So the answer to that question, yes, the empowerment of words can really help your mediumship and how you bring things across. Because when you can use confident words, it makes a big difference within your mediumship. So yes, I'd like to say to you, you know, it sounds like your grandmother. Well, you see, these things happen, Glenda, especially when I'm explaining things, because you know what I'm like. So, you know, but she was a force to be reckoned with. And I don't really do this live on Facebook, but it can happen. But all I want to say is know the power of your words, and know that the words that you say will touch someone's soul. And once you know that whatever you say and how you bring it across from the spirit world makes such a big difference to so many people's lives. So you need to become aware of the power of the words. Once you feel the confidence within inside of yourself, and you can bring that across in such a way that it makes a difference, that's what we do. And it's not always going to be seen. The healing that we can do as mediums is not always going to be seen on stage in front of people. It's the one-to-one sittings where the magic can happen, where only between two people, the recipient and the medium, magic can happen. And it's like the spirit can come through, and it's amazing to see and to feel and to experience what the spirit can bring through. So remember this, the power of your words and how confident you can bring them. Take this through this week and sit with that and bring it through to the people that you know.